What's up, everybody? My name is Jason, and welcome to $100 billion for schools, restaurants, and small business. Happy hump day to you. Please do me a huge favor. Give this video a thumbs up, hashtag EIDL with your comments below, and make sure you join us over at trysmallbiz.com. That's trysmallbiz.com, where you can advertise your company for free, or for just $1 a day, you can hire me as one of only 1,000 premium members. And as I'm about to do right now, I'll promote you to more than 100,000 people on social media. That's trysmallbiz.com. And by the way, if you already signed up, just hit the red upgrade to premium button to reserve your seat today. Quick question before we cover a number of very important topics, including RRF, what happened in Texas, and of course, EIDL. How many of you, like me, love insanely delicious fall off the bone ribs? Tell me in the comments below. Oh my goodness, I just promoted a premium member who will be pinned in the top comment. I'm talking about Blues City Cafe from a very historic section in downtown Memphis, Tennessee. You got to see the cover photo. More importantly, the menu. Make sure to check it out. And if you are ever at Blues City Cafe in Memphis, make sure that you tell them that Jason sent you. That is the kind of thing, ladies and gentlemen, that you can get from this point forward as a premium member for just $1 a day. All right, ladies and gentlemen, as I've been saying all week, I have an idea that I presented to Congress a few days ago. There's $113 billion, according to the Wall Street Journal, of unspent stimulus money sitting at schools and universities all over this country. And the idea that we presented already to dozens of senators, congressmen, and women is let's claw back or give back half that money so we can fund at least $50 billion to cover the restaurant revitalization. We have 177,000 restaurants that were left behind when the Senate voted it down last week, and thousands more small business owners in the transportation services, Little League baseball, concert halls, and so forth. That is until what happened yesterday in Texas. And while I am not going to play the absolutely pathetic political hit job that we're seeing all over social media and in the fake news, I want to adjust my proposal. I am convinced, based on a conversation I had this afternoon, it's going to gain traction in Washington, D.C. I now propose, with your help and endorsement, of course, and let me know in the comments below, that half of that $113 billion stay with the schools to improve security. I'm a huge fan of single point entry, just like we have at airports. There's only one way in and one way out. I live in a town called Roswell, very well-to-do, average income almost 100 grand. Right down the street, there's an elementary school. I won't mention the name. And these little kids, just like the one in the small town in Texas, only 16,000 people, 7, 8, 9-year-old kids. And there's at least 2 cop cars there every day. One parks across the street near the crossing guard in the parking lot. The other's right in front of the door alongside the street. And I'm 6'3", 255. There's at least 2 or 3 guys that look just like me. Like they could snap somebody in 2 in about 3 seconds flat. And knock on wood, there's never been an incident there for as long as I've lived here, which is over 10 years. Folks, this goes well beyond gun control. That's tearing us apart. We need some of that. We need better parenting. Better leadership in Washington, D.C. How about background checks for any 18-year-old kid that wants to buy body armor from head to toe? I could keep going. The important thing is to focus on the children and the families that have their sons and daughters at these schools all over our country. These little kids that barely come up to my knee love the cops. They're taught from a very young age that the policeman is here to keep you safe. They play games. Last summer they did that banana water slide. These gigantic guys are running down the lawn and they're flying all over the place. They had a water balloon fight. These kids love those cops that keep them safe. We need to send a warning to any nut job who was improperly raised that if you do something like what we had to witness again in Texas, you're signing your own death wish, because there's only one way you're getting in this school, and you're going to have to go through at least 3 guys that look like me, armed to the hilt. And we spend the rest of the money at the schools in better education for the teachers, the students, and the parents, so that everybody knows if something like this starts to happen, we have a game plan. We fortify the windows. We have safe rooms. We have all the stuff that we've been told is working in certain affluent areas like myself. And I can assure you, $50 to $60 billion, which, by the way, the Wall Street Journal said is going to go away unless it's spent in the next month or two. So let's do a bipartisan agreement. Both sides of the aisle put the effing hatchet away and come out in front of the cameras and say, we've got a great idea. We recommend that the universities, schools, and elementary in particular, in our underserved communities, especially like the ones in Texas, keep at least half the money. And you fortify your school. You hire more security. You improve the screening, the cameras, the training, the education. And you get the families, the parents, the children, and the teachers, and the board on the same page. And we won't have to witness much, if anything, like we saw yesterday, which is absolutely horrific. And with the other half, may I add, we send it back to Washington, D.C. We create a memorial in honor of the restaurants and the small business owners who desperately need help. If there's one thing you should know about me, over the last 2 years, I will not quit. We were told yesterday in the video that we saw from Patrick Kelly, and we've heard through the grapevine this afternoon, that almost 50,000 of the 61,000 and change that were in the queue before the May 6th deadline are in line to get their money. Which means about 10 to no more than 15,000, most of them in reconsideration, are in trouble and they need our help. So I want to assure those people in particular, I ain't going anywhere. I ain't going to get off their effing side on Twitter, in emails, over the phone, or whatever the hell else it takes. I'd like to go in person. The sooner we get to 1,000 premium members, the better. There's a lot that I've been tied behind my back in my other company because I can't afford to lose 6 figures worth of income yet. But I will not go anywhere until every single last one of those 15,000 or so get the money that they were promised upwards of 18 months ago. Some of these people have sent in the same documents 5, 6, 7 times. And we have a constant turnstile at the SBA of outsourced loan officers who don't have a friggin' clue in many cases what the hell they're talking about. So yeah, some of those people are full of shit. They shouldn't get any money, but let's say 10 or 11, 12,000 of the 15 are legitimate. So I ain't going anywhere. We will fight as long as it takes for how hard it takes until everybody gets their money. And if you got questions, you join the site, trysmallbiz.com. You scroll to the bottom. You fill out the contact us form. And I will answer you within 24 hours. Ladies and gentlemen, let's try to set an example, myself included. I get angry at times. I see this partisan stuff. I mean, the New York Times blamed the NRA within 3 minutes and 2 seconds. They've proven that. Within 3 minutes of 2 seconds of the shooting breaking out, the New York Times tweets, this is the NRA's fault. It's all our fault. Every single one of us. There's a collective consciousness that's way out of whack. And it starts at the top and inside the home. We can all do better. We have to do better. So I'm asking Congress, and for your support, ladies and gentlemen, that they spend this money wisely, otherwise it goes away. Half of it should go to our children and the parents who are horrified across this country tonight as to what might happen to their kids. We can do what they're doing right up the street from me, especially for underserved communities. $50 to $60 billion would almost wipe out what we saw happen yesterday and even a few weeks ago. We can, together as a family, as a country, help put an end to this. And we have to start leading by example. So I'm going to do the same. I'm going to try to keep the political bullshit out of the equation. And I ain't going anywhere. No way, no how, until our children and their parents, the $10,000 for our middle and high income communities, regardless of size, location, or credit score, whether they give us a 5-year loan deferment or forgive the loans altogether, they got to get rid of accruing the interest. And yes, I will not rest. I will not relent. I will not give up. I will not surrender until every single person in the idle queue who's legit gets the money that they were promised. Until next time, always remember that I love each and every single one of you. And make sure you join us at trysmallbiz.com.